Good morning, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing fine. Thank you guys for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Guys, before I start, please don't forget to smash a like on the video and also put your notifications on and subscribe and all that lovely jazz, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Guess what? OLE'S at the wheel. Oh, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, guys, because you know what? 2018 called. They said they want their year back. They want their manager back. In 2018, guys, you know what? I've always believed you never go back. You never go back to your ex, ever. You never go back. What's done is done. Never go back, guys. Ole looks likely to be Manchester United's new interim manager until the end of the season, of course. Darren Fletcher is currently the interim for 2 games, of course, starting tonight against Burnley and then at the weekend against Brighton and Hove Albion, guys. How do you feel about that? Look, at the end of the day, I don't understand why we don't just give it to Fletcher to the end of the season. I think Fletcher has done a lot of work in regards to Man United, in regards to the youth team under 18s and stuff. And I think it's a new guy. It's a new guy. We need someone new, and I would say that. Look, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the king of the bounce, isn't he? He's the king of the bounce. Absolutely. You know what I mean? He's got that bounce. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. And the thing is that we sat Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at a time when things were going very bad. Of course, in his first season, he was absolutely phenomenal for the first 10, 15 games. We actually broke some records in regards to away from home. However, what I would say is that was the COVID season, and there was not a lot of pressure on, and it was great. That great night in Paris, I remember it. Nostalgia FC, you know what I mean? I remember it well. I really do, and it does bring back some good memories. However, the toxicity and the anger and the division started at that time, because when we have a manager like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it's very, very difficult to call him out. And I'll tell you why, because he's a legend. And when you have a manager like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if you call him out, you're deemed an enemy of the club, and, the whole fan base will go against you. But this is the problem in the fan base. If it was a Real Madrid, they don't care about Raul or Morientes, or Carranca, or Herrero, or Roberto Carlos, or Casillas. They don't care about those guys. They're not too interested about those guys. Yeah, they have an affiliation with them, but their whole story, their whole existence, they don't care. Win games, that's all they care about. Now, Man United obviously have sacked Ruben Amram, and Man United now have to move on. But one thing I will say to everyone is be careful what you wish for. Of course, guys, that is the biggest key here. That's the biggest thing here. Be careful what you wish for, guys, because let me tell you this, there's no such thing as an interim. There is no such thing as an interim, guys. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if he gets that job on Monday, will most likely be the manager next season. I'm telling you now, categorically, guys, especially if we defeat Manchester City and get a good result against Arsenal. You know what I mean, guys? This is what's going to happen, guys. We have to face reality, These guys wanted Ruben Amram out. They didn't want to wait. They didn't want to have the patience. 9 sackings in 12 years. Oh, it's gone so well, hasn't it? It's gone so well with all those sackings, hasn't it, guys? Hasn't it? Now, look at it in a positive light, with glass half full, okay? How will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer succeed at Man United? Now, the only way Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will succeed at Man United, just like with every single manager before him, he needs backing. He needs backing for his philosophy, for his style. He needs coaching staff that are tactically aware in regards to when things are not going so well. Because one thing about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is very one-dimensional when he's played. He was a counter-attacking manager. And let's not do revisionism here, guys. Let's not try and change the history. He was a counter-attacking manager. And it got very bad at the end. Not least, what was it? The 4-1 defeat to Everton, the 4-0 defeat to Watford and things like that. It got too emotional. And I don't think you should bring emotions in football, And I feel like this time, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs help. This time, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to need the coaching staff in there. He's going to need people who can help him. He's going to need people who can, tactically change things in certain games and stuff like that. Because you know what? I don't want to be seeing Marcus Rashford back next season with a counter-attacking football, guys. It didn't work in 2018 and 2019. It's not going to work now. We have to be honest with ourselves, in regards to where we're going as a football club. All right. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I love him. He's a legend. He gave me the best moment of my footballing supporting life in regards to the Champions League final 98-99. Of course, he is an absolute legend. And that will remain. But we are like soft little pillows. We're Jaffa Cakes FC, guys. And I'll tell you why we're Jaffa Cakes FC. You know, we got all hard exteriors, but in the middle, we're all soft. You know? And that's what we are. We're little jelly little pillows. Oh, Ole's at the wheel. Tell me, how good does it feel? Oh. That's why we don't get the Glazers out. That's why we don't get the Glazers out, because we're soft little pillows. We want Glazers out. Say, we want Glazers out. Hip the hop, the hippity, hip the up, the don't start, the boogity bee. We are a soft touch. We are weak. We are impatient. We are mouthy with no substance. That's why we offer people out in car parks and don't do nothing about it. Absolute pathetic excuse for a club. That's why we're being bantered in Portugal. That's why we're being bantered around the world, guys, because that's who we are. Now, guys, as I said, and I reiterate, I want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Darren Fletcher, Michael Carrick to succeed. And Michael Carrick is also a contender for that role as interim manager. He's also in a role, he's also in that contention area for interim manager. Who would I want as interim? I want someone different. And that's just my opinion. And I'll tell you why. These players will love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Asking these players their opinion about should we get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, what manager should we get? And if they say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course they're going to say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That's like going to kindergarten. That's like going to a primary school and asking the kids, what teacher do you want today? And not only kids, you know, that's like asking a bunch of juvenile delinquents, what teacher do you want today? That's what it's like asking, because some of these players have sacked more managers than they've got trophies. Bruno, Dalot, Shaw, Maguire, you know the drill, guys. They're all there. Ahmad was under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well, but went on loan, so I'm not going to blame him. Okay? So here we go, guys. Here we go again. Here we go. Absolutely. We are an absolute history channel, Netflix at Steve, Nostalgia FC, Soft Pillow, Jaffa Cakes FC. We should be sponsored by Jaffa Cakes. I'm telling you right now, honestly, it fits so well. Bunch of soft-hearted, nostalgia-ridden pillows. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, we can't. As soon as it gets with us, as soon as it gets hot in the kitchen, we leave the kitchen. You know what I mean? And that's what we do. You know, we're a bit like a boxer who trains up all year for this one boxing match, right? And mathing off in the media, in the presser, and everything like that. You know, the head-to-head. You know, mathing off and all that. And when it gets to the boxing ring, we turn around and we walk away. This notion, this myth that we were doing badly under Ruben Amram when we were 3 points from fourth. You know, maybe he was that guy, but we just didn't want to show the patience. Like I said many, many times, guys, everyone loves a rebuild until you're actually in one, in the middle of one, you know. Now, we can't cry over spilt milk. We can't talk about Amram now. It's over. We're going to talk about the future. Now, whoever takes charge of the football club, and I clarify, I want them to succeed. I'm a Manchester United fan. I'm not like those other content creators who want us to lose, all right? And I know there were some people, and you know who you are. When Ruben is in charge, you were hoping that we were going to lose. Now, look, I'm not a fan of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a manager. I'm a fan of him as a player. You know what? I met the guy way back in 1997, guys, all right? The first time I met Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Old Trafford, outside Old Trafford. Now, guys, at the end of the day, I want nothing for him to succeed. But how is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer going to succeed with these players? You can have, like I said on my Twitter, you can have Mr. Bean in charge of Manchester United. Manchester United are not going to win anything with this board. If you're not given the patience and if you're not given the finances and the backing. What do Man United need to do now? Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will take the interim role. Right? I believe. I think it's an imminent, right? And I will go live when he goes on, guys, when he does get confirmed. I would prefer Ruud van Nistelrooy, obviously, because he done well at PSV. I think he's tactically better. I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is tactically good. I think he plays one style, which we all can do, which is a counter-attacking, defend and counter-attack. But what I would say, again, is that, you know what? History Channel FC 2018 called, guys, and you know what? They want their manager back. And that's what I said. You know what? Until we get rid of the nostalgia, until we get rid of, you know what? Back in my day, back in 1988, back in this, back in that, you know, I find it so funny, you know, that we talk about Alex Ferguson and we brush it off and we're so blasé about it, about when he came into the football club and he done those things at the football club. But my biggest concern is this, right? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Alex Ferguson earned his corn to come to Man United, obviously winning the trophy, European trophy for Aberdeen, of course, and done so well, you know. And I don't mind nostalgia in patches, but when it's nostalgia, that gives me a boost and think, yeah, now there's no messing about. What's going to make me feel like that? What's going to make me feel like now there's no messing about? Who's going to make me feel like that? Eric Cantona, Roy Keane, David Beckham, those sort of people. Because we're getting second tier legends, guys. Ole's a legend, but he's not a number one legend. He's not a Cantona, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? He's not a Beckham. He's not a Nicky Butt even, you know? So what I would say is that I wish him all the best. And whoever takes charge of this football club, guys, you know me. I'm going to be supporting my football club. I'm going to be supporting them through thick and thin, like I did with Eric Ten Hag, like I did with Ruben Amram. And I'm proud of myself not saying get him out of my football club, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I'm telling you right now, guys, this could end very badly and we could go back years. Years. You guys, you know what? I know there's a lot of fans around the world. I know they get a little bit excited. You know, I've seen images in India of people on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and stuff like that. Guys, you know, I'm saying this, right? This can go awfully bad. I witnessed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I was there. Some of these guys about OLE'S at the world weren't even born when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was winning the Champions League, you know? They weren't even born. They weren't even around when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was winning the Champions League. But what I would say, it is what it is. I would much prefer someone different. I would much prefer someone who's not going to be pally with all the players. Shorey, Maguire, Rashi, you know what I mean? All that business. Dalotti, Armady. I don't want any of that. You know, greatness was not built on comfort zones. It was not built on being nice. You know, it wasn't. You can get to a certain level being nice. But let me tell you something about being nice. I've always been a nice guy. All my life, I've been a nice guy. You know? But there comes a time when you break when you're nice. And you know what? And people tread on you and people take advantage of you. That's not fair, but that is life. People take advantage of you when you're nice. You may not do that. I don't do that. But some people do, right? There are some people in this content creator game who take advantage of people because they got views. You know? There's some people in this content creator game who take advantage of people or not ball inclined, if you know what I mean. They're not got the ball knowledge. And they put them on their channels to make themselves look better. There's some people like that, guys. Do you know what I mean? There are people like that who get dummies, you know what I mean, on their channels with 500,000 subscribers, you know, and they put dummies on their channel from America who are 20-odd years old, who don't know nothing about the history and heritage of Man United, and put them on there because, you know what, it makes them look better. It's madness, guys, you know. For me, I said it. If we're going to get a legend, go and get someone with a little bit of cojones. I haven't forgotten what happened, you know, when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was in charge of Man United. I remember him apologizing to Marcus Rashford, which upset me a lot because Marcus Rashford is a prat. And that has been confirmed many, many, many times, you know. But guys, Man United win the next few games. Let's say we beat Man City. Let's say we have a great result against Arsenal. Let's say we go on a little run like we did before. And then we end up, you know, in the European positions. Fantastic. Fantastic. But that's where it should end. Cut it off. Man United should right now have an agreement with their new boss. They should right now have an agreement with who's going to be in charge next season. You know? They need to have an agreement with that. There are many better candidates for the interim role at Man United. Let's put nostalgia to one side, guys. Let's put Sophie mushy little Barney the dinosaur feelings to one side, all right? Let's get all this to one side. There are many better candidates than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Sam Allardyce is one. You may laugh, guys, but Sam Allardyce is a better candidate than Ole. He will win more games. He will get us, honest to God. What I'm saying is this, and this is no disrespect to Ole, and I hope he's learned. You know what I mean? I hope he's learned, and I hope he's improved. But I have not forgotten when he signed that contract. I have not forgotten when Rio Ferdinand got that fake contract. That sign it now, sign it now. I have not forgotten that, guys. I've not forgotten it. I remember it well, you know, and I was around that time, and I remember it because I remember the toxicity, and it was so difficult for us to say, look, maybe Ole's not that guy. He had a lot of money spent on him. Maybe Ole's not that guy, you know? If we go into this season and we end up with Maguire, Dalot, and Bruno and all these players, and they're going to get a new lease of life. Rashford is going to come back, new lease of life, new manager. My friend is back. Yeah, my friend is back. We are back. My friend is back. Well, hey, you know what I mean? We're not going anywhere, guys. We are not going to win a title. We are not going to win the Champions League. We may win the odd cup here and there. And you know why we're not going to do it? Because as soon as the plant starts to grow, we cut it off from the source, you know? Because some screaming idiots on social media, right, who can't even look after their own cholesterol, are out there screaming their head off, right? Talking about tactics, right? When we were 3 points from fourth. I didn't see any point of it, you know? And we haven't seen the project out. And Ruben Amram didn't get backed, and that's an absolute fact. Ineos need to leave this football club. They need to pack their bags and the Glazers and leave this football club now. We are being taken through the mud, guys. We are being taken through the rubble, guys. This is an awful situation that we're in. We've gone back 7 years, and that's not a myth. That, my friends, is a fact. We've gone back 7 years. So let me tell you something about 2018. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was a younger lad, but he was still an adult. He knew what he was doing. What makes Ole Gunnar Solskjaer different in 2018 to he is right now? It got to the brink with Ole. We pushed it and pushed it and pushed it, and it didn't work. He couldn't get results. We had Pogba. We had Herrera. We had Ronaldo for a period. We had Cavani. Right? We had all those players there, guys. How's it going to get better? How's it going to improve? Now, guys, I'll be giving him my full 100% support. From this moment forward, it will be my full, utter, unrivaled support, guys. I will be giving him all the support in the world. And let me clarify, and let's not be a snowflake. Let's be mature here. Let's think about this maturely. Let's think about how Man United are going to progress with Ole. Because I firmly believe they're going to keep him. Right? Because as was clarified this week, if we learned anything about the last week, is that they want a head coach. They do not want a manager. They want a head coach. Ole's perfect. Ole's perfect. Head coach. You know, I do anything for you sort of guy. You know? There's certain things I can't do. Right? As I said, I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy, but I can't be a manager. And I tell you why I can't be a manager, because I can't sack people. I don't have it in me. I'm too nice. Right? That's what it is at the end of the day. I'm too nice. So I understand Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This is why I understand Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's nice. He's a great guy. But for a manager of Manchester United, do you think Alex Ferguson went in there and it's all hugs and kisses and, you know what I mean, cupcakes and things like that? It absolutely wasn't, was it? You know? It's crazy how we are. But Ineos and the Glazers are to blame. They are the reason we're in this bloody mess. They've got to fix it. They've got to come out of this smelling like roses. Because people think that Ineos and the Glazers have played a blinder. Not to me, they haven't. I have not fallen for the old chestnut. I have not fallen for the play on my heartstrings sort of thing. I'm not stupid. I have not fallen for it. The Glazers and Ineos are responsible for this. People can get happy about Ole. Ole's a Glazer as well. You know, people can get happy about it, right? People can get happy about Fletcher. He's a Glazer as well. I'm anti-Glazer. I'm anti-Ineos, and I don't want anyone talking about the Glazers if you supported what's been happening this last couple of weeks. You know, I don't want anyone talk about the Glazers. I don't want anyone talk about Ineos because you have no idea. You contradict yourself. As soon as the going gets tough, you fall on the weird side and you go straight to the left and you say, you know what? I'll just huddle in the Glazers corner. You know, we can't say that to your managers and bosses. We can say what the fuck we want to Sir Jim Ratcliffe and to Glazers, because what they've done to this club is criminal, guys. What they've done to this club is criminal. It's criminal what they've done to this club. Absolute frauds what they've done to them. We can call them out when we want, and not least Ruben Amram. And Ruben Amram going out that door like that is more of a legend than any one of those players on that pitch. Let me tell you that right now. Any one of them, all of them in a little huddle is more of a legend than all of them for what he did. Now, so at the end of the day, look, guys, a new dawn, a new day, a new light. You know, at the end of the day, it's breaking dawn. A new dawn, a new day, a new light. That is where we're here, guys. We're here. We got the future. We go on. We fight. And we move on now. First game tonight, Burnley. Win at all costs. Ruben won that game. Weekend, Brighton. Win at all costs. Ruben won that game. Let's do this. Come on. Let's do it. I mean, we have to win games now. You know, and that's it. You know, the going gets tough. The tough get going. You know what I mean? As Mr. Ocean, Billy Ocean once said, wasn't it? You know? Let's go for it. And let's see if we can get in that top four. Let's see if we can go in this magnificent run and we can get in that top four and we can buy some players in the summer. Oh, that's the bit where it gets a little bit treacherous, isn't it? Oh, the Glazers have to put their hand in their pocket again. Tyrannosaurus Rex syndrome. I can't reach. Tyrannosaurus Rexes. You know what I mean? Goodness me. They should star in Jurassic Park. Oh my goodness. They can't even get in their pockets like that. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely scandalous, guys. Guys, I want to thank everyone. I hope you're doing well. Let me just say hello to the community. I hope everyone is good. I hope everyone is blessed, of course, guys. I hope everyone is good, of course. Big up yourselves. Big up Samuel, how you doing? Big up Irfan, how you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. The saying goes, united we stand, divided we fall. You decide where we are. We're divided, mate, 100%. Irfan, even if we end up playing in Europe, which I doubt, the cracks will show like the leaks at Old Trafford. United will either beat the odds, make history, or go down as the worst model in football history. I mean, how do we beat the odds? How do we make history, Irfan? How do we turn these players into world-class players? You can't, can you? Because they're already at an age where they're already what they are. They are what they are. They're not going to improve. They are what they are. When these players are not going to get anywhere, guys. They're not going to, you know what I mean, suddenly turn into... Luke Shaw's not going to turn into Carfu. You know what I'm saying? And Maguire's not going to turn into Maldini. It's not going to happen, guys. This is the reality, you know, and we have to look at it, you know? Good morning, Mark. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Morning, Sal. I hope you're well. But big up yourself. I'm getting a little bit deja vu, or is it a good idea to bring Ole back? In my opinion, no. We need ownership gone ASAP. Ownership out, Glazers out, Ineos out all day, guys. I don't believe it's a good choice, no. Yes, Man United will win games. Yes, they'll win games on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Yes, there'll be a section of fans singing Ole's at the wheel. You know what I mean? With their pint. You know, and whilst Ineos are going, look at these guys. You look at these guys. They're hilarious. Oh, my goodness me. Nostalgia. Look at them. We don't need to do anything. We just bring back someone like that, and then they're just going to be, oh, yeah, that's all right. Lovely jubbly. You know what I mean? Big up, Sanjay. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope everything is blessed. It's horrible. Ole to 0 titles as a manager. His tactics hit back and sit and encounter. Lost to Watford 1-4 before getting sacked. Lost to Liverpool 5-0 last European final. Ineos and everyone's puppet. Ole out. Absolutely, mate. Spot on. He's a puppet. People don't understand. I'm not going to change and flip-flop from what I was in 2019, 2021. I'm not going to change that. You know? Irfan, good morning. Big up, everyone. Renee, yo, Sal, we are behaving like a toxic lover. We go through partner after partner, always putting all the blame on them for the way the relationship failed. Now we are rebounding for former lovers. And you know what I would say, my guy, Renee, so you never go back, do you? You never go back. Absolutely. When you are done with your ex, you move on to the next. That's what happens. Ole is an ex. Exactly that. Exactly that. Exactly that. You don't ever go back in life in general, and that is my stance on everything. It sounds like Ole will be the manager, or Carrick won't be the assistant. I mean, he'd be stupid to be the assistant manager again. We're going back. It's ridiculous. We don't need vibes and friends. We need ruthless structure. This is the whole thing, Mark. We're going in. We're falling into this trap. We need to feel good. Oh, we need to feel good. I need to feel good about my club. I need Ole back, please. Do you think Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Barcelona do this kind of thing? Huh? Do you think they do this kind of thing? Do you think they have this nostalgia about them? Oh, my goodness me, I really want to Ole back, please. You know, look at me with my picture of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I'm tired of it. I'm fed up with it. It's pathetic. You know, we need to be stronger as a fan base. I'm telling you. They brought a ginger in. A manager who didn't even know we had an old equipment. A player that had to go public. What does it tell you? The guys exactly. Earthfan, big up. Sal, can't the candidates work together? Will be for some experience. I don't think it. Egos, mate. Egos, Sniper Man. It won't work. Ollie and Rude will help. Sesko and so it won't. Egos, mate. Again, it doesn't. Joint partnerships don't work in regards to that. We remember how they printed Arteta out. Arsenal board held on to him. Those same fan base are now singing his praise. Exactly that. Exactly that. They gave him time, though. Look, this is what I would say. Everyone wants to talk about Arsenal. Everyone wants to talk about how Arsenal are winning anything. But let me tell you something about Arsenal. They backed their manager. They gave him time. And look at the fruits of their labor. Look what they're doing now. Arsenal are probably the best team in Europe. Let me tell you that right now. And they will become the best team in Europe because they followed our motto and some of the community's motto. They knew what to do, guys. You know what? Our owners want to believe a guy who's serially the worst manager in Spanish football history in Gary Neville. Or those content creators out there who are not going to be loyal to anyone. And let me tell you this right now. As soon as Ole loses a couple of games, they're going to be, get him out of my football club. He's never been a good manager, blah, 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 blah. I won't do that, guys, when he's in the football club. You know, I won't say, well, you know what I mean? I told you so. I don't believe in I told you so. I believe in Man United winning. I would rather be 1,000 times out of 1,000 wrong than me being right and we lose. I'd rather be 1,000 times out of 1,000 wrong and win games than me being right and lose. And that is my prerogative. They're going to be calling Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's head out like they were in 2018, but in 2019. They're going to be doing exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. And rinse and repeat. Here we go again. Rinse and rinse. Sal, I know the guy, Sniper Man. Emski. Sal, now if we lose tonight and kicked out in the FA Cup the weekend, what do you think we'll do? They will get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, mate. I personally think they're not going to keep Fletcher. If Fletcher wins the game tonight and we play very good football and we win again on Sunday, keep Fletcher. Why are we going to move? Keep Fletcher. Just keep him. Why are we going to keep disrupting things? If we win tonight and we win at the weekend, and you know what, we see some kind of I don't mind that. It's not bad. You know what I mean? Fletcher's a versatile. Look, guys, let me just give you what Fletcher does as a football manager. Darren Fletcher's a very versatile manager. He does play 4 at the back. He plays a 4-3-3. He can play a 4-2-3-1. He's played a 4-1-4-1. He's done different types of tactical changes and stuff like that. He is a tactical manager. He's perhaps more tactical than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's a very tactical manager, and he's kind of earned his call. I know he's a Glazeronomic. I know he's a Glazeroid. I know that. But he has been at Man United a long time. He's worked with the under-18s. He understands Man United. He's a Man United legend as well in his own right. Okay? He won trophies, won Champions League, etc., etc., etc. I would rather, if it goes well for Fletcher and he wins tonight, we win at the weekend against Brighton, I think, yeah. Just keep him. Why are we going to disturb it? Keep him to the end of the season. And that's it. That's what we do. Because one thing I don't want, guys, and let me show you something about it. Fletcher's a very quiet, low-key kind of guy. He's not on the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer nostalgia thing. Fletcher was a group player. And he won a lot of things with Man United, especially under the 2007, 2008 which was fantastic, obviously with Ronaldo, Tevez, and Rooney. Right? He was good in the holding role. But no one has that kind of nostalgia for Darren Fletcher than they do for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So this is why, exactly why, I would much prefer Darren Fletcher, if he wins tonight and the weekend, to stay on the roll. Because I think that the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer move is too emotional, too playing on the heartstrings. People love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Some people worship Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Some people are crazy for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Some people are mad for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I've seen people over this last 5 years still talking about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer every single day on Twitter. Right? So this is why I don't think we should hire Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That's my opinion. Now, look, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is at the wheel, let me just say this. Please let it be a rent-a-car. Please. I know he's at the wheel. I know we want to go far, but just make sure it's a rent-a-car. All right? And let's make sure we don't buy that car. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, Ole was at the wheel before, and we kept the car. And the car went into and the car, we all know the car broke down. You know, and look, guys, which is likely he becomes interim manager, I'm going to support him to the end of the season. But I know within my head, I do not trust Ineos. I do not trust the Glazers, and anyone would be a fool. I said it many, many times. It's like walking through hell with a blindfold and not expecting to get burnt. We've been burnt a lot of times, guys. But one thing about it, guys, we're not going to get burnt again. And we don't want to get burnt again. But unfortunately, there's some people, big platforms, OLE'S, we're being laughed at, guys. Rival fans are laughing at us. They're laughing at us, guys. They are absolutely loving this. Ole's back. Guys, I remember the tweets. I remember what happened, you know? I remember all of it. How do you get people to be consistent if the leadership are inconsistent? Leadership group owned. They should manage the football club. Also, this time it is different than Ten Hag. People in Man United socials are spamming being Ruben back and Ineos out. It's very difficult now. Greetings, Jaffa. How you doing? If the players react to new manager, then we will bash Burnley. Then all the new gen fans will focus on the songs and continue to be happy for 10, 12 months. Then back to square one. Jaffa, you're right, mate. Absolutely. That's the worry for me. Coco, good up. Big up, my friend. There has to be a way to pressure the board, Sal. All this talk about the future feels like pointless with them. You know what? Project 2028, I've done them a favor. It's gone back 10 years. 2018, Project 2018. We've gone back 10 years. There we go, guys. Absolutely brilliant. We saved 10 years. Sniper Man. Also, who do you think will win the fight in a fight, Leach or Ruben? What kind of question is that, Sniper Man? Huh? You're right, Sal. Counter-attack football from Ole will be fun to watch, but you can go so long and just counter-attack. Exactly. We had a good manager, young manager, smart and strict. All the work he did down the drain. Exactly that. Because he called out the owners and they had a hissy fit and cried. And that is what it is at the end of the day. Sal, just heads up. What did I say? What 7th, Mark? I didn't say anything was 7th. What did I say which was 7th? Why didn't they go for Van Nistelrooy? I don't know. They might still. Let's wait and see. Nothing is confirmed, by the way. Wilcox apparently asked them players who they want and play. Exactly that. I mean, how mad? Players who never won the league. Players who never challenged in the Champions League. How mad is that? Asking them who they want. How crazy is that, guys? How absolutely incompetent is that? I thought they were great at their job. I thought I thought Wilcox, Barada, and Vivell were very good at their job, and Jim Ratcliffe, that they have to ask the players who an employee. Guys, have you ever had a manager come up to you and said, look, we gave an interview to 5 people. Which one do you think is the best one? We're going to take your opinion. You know, I want that one. You know, and that's exactly what it is. When there's, I mean, are we the only club? Are we living in some kind of parallel crazy universe? I don't know. About that, yeah. People forget that. People forget that old chestnut fan. Do you know what I mean? They forget that. And he fouled. Leeson, hi, Sal. Should we go for Luis Enrique? He will not renew his contract. Yes, we should, Leeson. Yes, we should go for Luis Enrique. We should go for Luis Enrique. And we should back Luis Enrique. But the problem is, Leeson, is that they may get Luis Enrique. But they won't back Luis Enrique. This is the biggest issue. Luis Enrique will come into the football club and go, okay, who am I getting? You know what? We haven't got much money. We have to wait. We have to sell some players, and we have to get a little bit more money, and then we can invest in you, and then we'll get back to you. Okay, we can get back to you. However, we've got a lot of players there who used to be at Man United and who are still at Man United, and I believe that they can qualify for the Champions League. Yes, I know that you got a bunch of kids on the bench. Yes. I feel that's. I still think they're good enough. You know, and this is the problem, guys. This is what's going to be the rinse and repeat FC. You've got Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, all laughing at us. I mean, Chelsea have got Liam Rosenior, for God's sake. Ole, because of counter-attacking football, Sniper Man, because he's shit. He can't do anything else. Yale, and that was 5-6 years ago. Rude as a coach would be good. As a manager, he is not good. Well, he done well at PSV. He won things, and he hasn't really he done well at Man United whilst he was there. I don't know what you mean by that. Morning, Benny. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, my friend. Hope everything is blessed with you. How many best seasons? One good season, 1, 2, 3. One good season, 1, 2, 3. And he does it all day. Rinse and repeat. 100 in the house, guys. Oops. 100 in the house. 50 likes. Someone hit that button. Guys, come on. Let's get to 50 likes, guys. Let's not forget to give to 50 likes. Thank you, everyone who's joining me. Absolute diamonds. You're absolute legends. Thank you so much. Of course. Jaffa. He's had one good season, two at most. That's not good enough in how long he's been at Man United, which is like 15 years. There has never been such backlash when a manager was sacked this time. It's different. Majority of the fans back him, and so do the players. Shaw and Dalot need to leave immediately. Exactly. They know that they made it. Listen, Jaffa, why do you think they've employed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? They know they've upset people. They know they've upset people in the fan base. Unfortunately, these dumb little prats, you know what I mean? Oh, Ole's at they're just going to come on again with their little soft little, Ole's at the wheel. You know what I mean? Honest to God. You know what I mean? It's going to be mad, guys, honestly. Here we go again. I will support my team or club, not Ole. Yeah, that's what it is. So funny that these creators spamming for propaganda, guys. Just a little bit of news from Fabrizio Romano, guys. Let me just read this out. I just want to read a little bit of news from Fabrizio Romano. Of course, this came out earlier, of course, last night. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Manchester United advancing positive talks over caretaker manager role. As revealed yesterday, Ole wants the job and he's a serious candidate with talks well underway. No issues on the contract length. Ole is ready to say yes. Of course he is. And that is the latest from yesterday. That was the last tweet, which was sent from, obviously, Fabrizio Romano. David, I will support Man United, but Ineos out, everything on the cheap. Exactly that, mate. Exactly that. You know. Boxer, my uncle said Ole was cheaper than Shearer. He was. Much cheaper. Discussing how Ineos gutted the staff. Yeah, I know, mate. There you go. For this, guys. I thought they were going to back the manager. With all those unemployments, I thought they were going to back the manager properly. I thought they were going to give him an 8 or 9, 10 out of window. There you go, guys. Never believe billionaires. You know what I mean? And that is a lesson to all of you. Absolutely. Coco, Ole is straight out of the Glazers playbook. Now, yeah. You know, straight out of the Glazers playbook. Yeah, fantastic. Bow down to them. FC, you know. Joe, morning Sal, morning Joe. You watch We Will Smash Burnley tonight and these fans will get all excited over Ole and Fletcher, yeah. But what should have done is back Ruben, but typically owners win again and destroy them. You know the money that it cost us to sack Ruben Amram. You know we could have bought Ruben Neves with that and fixed that midfield. We've already beaten Burnley this season. We would have beaten Burnley. We've already beaten Brighton this season. We might have beaten Brighton. You know? And this shows how stupid people are, guys. I just lose hope with this fan base. I just think some of them are just so, you know, like they don't listen. It's like, you know, I mean, We've sacked 10 managers in 12 years, guys. And what is the common demeanor here? We failed. We failed. We have not succeeded. Sack, 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 sack. And that's what it is. But here we are, guys. Here we are again. We are here, guys. It's not going to change now. The manager's gone. We get a new manager in. But as I said, before Ruben Amram was sacked, be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. Because at the end of the day, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You know, you can't. And a manager that comes in, who's been there before, he's not all of a sudden going to become smarter, wanting to win more. Because back then, he wanted to win. Right now, he wants to win, but he still lost back then. And this is what you have to remember. That's why you need fresh ideas. You need a fresh man to come in and say, right, here we go. You know? Simon, going for an ex-player as a caretaker man is a bit suspicious. That move seems like one to appease the fans. I mean, Simon, you're spot on, mate. You're spot on, Simon. It's one to cover up the Glazers' incompetence and Ineos' incompetence. That's what it is. They understand that a lot of the fan base are disgruntled and angry about the sacking of Ruben Amram. Very unfair sacking, being 3 points from fourth. So basically, they've used Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a shield for them. So basically, the soft little Jaffa cakes, who are very soft and mushy, who cry over the Titanic and stuff like that, are going to be all sentimental and nostalgic. And they're going to forget, just like they are now. I've seen it on social media. They're going to forget about the incompetence of Ineos and the Glazers and obviously the sacking of Ruben Amram ultimately. And that's why they got him in. Absolutely. And sadly, some of us are smart. Some of us don't fall for that stuff. Some of us have been around the block. You know what I mean? Some of us know about the little games that billionaires do, you know? And here we are. It doesn't matter, Sniper Man, they haven't got a trophy. It doesn't matter. They're going to win a trophy this year, mate. And what are you going to say then, Sniper Man? They're the best team in Europe. They're going to win trophies, mate. What are you going to say then? Huh? Are you going to say, oh, they ain't got a trophy? They're in the Champions League every year, mate. They're getting ahead of us. We can't say nothing to Arsenal. We have no right to talk about Arsenal. Nothing. I don't like Arsenal with a passion. I don't like the fans. I don't like that. But we have nothing to say about Arsenal. We are an embarrassment as a football club. You know, and we can concentrate on bantering Arsenal. Why are we going to banter Arsenal? Why are we going to banter Liverpool? Why are we going to banter Chelsea? Because at the end of the day, they're better than us. Chelsea are not going way back to bloody managers from the past, De Zerbi, are they? Even though De Zerbi is a better manager. Chelsea are not going back to De Zerbi, are they? Chelsea are not going back to Glenn Hoddle. Come on, Glenn. Get us. Come on, guys. They're not going back to Nigel Spatman or Michael Dewberry. I don't know if you know who they are. Prince, some of the players that stabbed Ole against Watford are still here. Let the truth set you free, Prince. And that is what I'm talking about. They're still here. Maguire, Dallo, Shaw, Bruno, Ahmad. Respect Ahmad, he was on loan. They're still here. You know what I mean? And it's, honestly, I'm telling you. Alex Ferguson, all Ole is in for is to keep the heat away from the crap job Ineos are doing. Exactly that. Spot on. I think Fletcher does not want it yet. It's why they are looking for someone else. He does want it, Yale. That's speculation. He does want it. Didn't you hear his press conference yesterday? He said it's an honor. You know, he does want it. He wants it, and he should have it, to be honest, instead of that. Sal, what do you think we'll see tonight from Fletcher? Probably a 4-2-3-1, maybe a 4-3-3. I think he'll simplify things. I don't think there'll be much changes, Mark, in regards to the team, but he will play a 4 at the back. Probably. I would like to see a 4-2-3-1, if I'm being honest, Mark. I prefer it. I think you could play the double pivot, play 3 in attack, and obviously have the strikers up front. I think that would be a good thing to do, of course. Big up my guy. Big up yourself, 7671. Ole ball means getting dominated every game, whether it's prime Barca or Wolves, and just constantly countering and scraping to 3-2s, 4-3s, and 2-1s comebacks every week. Poor for long term, but great for short. That's it, mate. And I think that's what they're looking for. But you know what? You know what, my guy? You know what? They're going to fall for it again. Trust me, this, guys. They're going to fall for it again. The contract is going to be out, guys. How you doing, Sam? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're blessed, mate. Are you watching AFCON? Ahmad is cooking it. Yeah, big up AFCON and big up Ahmad. I've been doing the watch-alongs, Sam. Where have you been? Prince, Rashford and Sancho are coming back soon. Oh, God help us. God help us. Sancho's contract expires, Prince, so he won't be back. Thank God. Daniel, you have seen to yourself, guys. Yes, you have started tasting who the coach at the club, mate. It's so embarrassing. The club is supposed to back Amram. This is what I've been preaching, Daniel, for a long time, mate. A long time. Neil, I certainly am laughing. Hopefully he stays. Like, exactly that. There you go, guys. Arsenal fans are laughing. Like I said, guys, I don't want to hear any Manchester United fans talking about Arsenal or Man City. I don't want them to talk about them. I don't want anyone to talk about Arsenal or Man City ever again. Because at the end of the day, they back their manager, right? They're bald back their manager. Even with the pressure of the fans, right? When people were making Arteta Hout caps and things like that, they still back their manager. And they waited, and their patience has paid dividends. And I'll tell you right now, guys, Arsenal will win the bloody lot eventually. Let me tell you that right now, because they are doing what we have been saying. Some of us have been saying for a long time. They're going to win things, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if they dominate. And fair play to them. Congratulations. Absolutely. You don't sack him until the weekend. He's going to leave. You're not going to sack anyone. Nikki, Ole was 7th in the Premier League. Oh, yeah. Okay, I get it. When he was sacked, worse than Amram, and Ole had a better squad too. Exactly. He had a killer midfield, didn't he? Did he have Pogba and Herrera in the midfield? Let me get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's team. Hold on. Let me just get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's team up. All right, I'm going to have a look at this, guys. I'm just going to have a look at the team. Okay, so we're going to go through this team, okay, guys? So look at this. All right. Man United. And the lineups. Let me just say lineups. Let me just say lineups. Right. 22nd of almost a year, guys. Almost 7 years to the day. It's 7 years ago. Over 7 years ago. Wow. 8 years ago, sorry. Okay. So the Man United team. We had De Gea in goal. Ashley Young as a right back. Lindelof and Phil Jones as centre backs. Okay, a little bit questionable. Luke Shaw, a younger Luke Shaw as left back. Ander Herrera, Matic and Pogba in the midfield. Ander Herrera, Matic and Pogba in the midfield. Jesse Lingard, Rashford and Martial. A younger Jesse Lingard, a younger Rashford and Martial. Is that team better than our current team? I think the midfield is much better. And as I've said many times, the midfield is the, you know what I mean? Big up, my guy. Big up. Big up. Make sure you give me the credit, Irfan, Don't forget that, brother. I asked that because Leacher and Ruben apparently squared up before. Don't listen to that bullshit, mate. Honestly, I'll be honest with you, mate. Don't listen to that crap. That's all designed to make Ineos come out of this smelling like roses, Sniper Man. Don't fall for that old chestnut, all right? Because I've heard they get on. I'm just tired of that crap, you know, that they're making. This spin that they're doing just to cover themselves. Project Magic Time Machine, backwards 10 years. Exactly. Darren, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Sal, the channels who started Ole out after Man United nil Scumpool 5 at Old Trafford with the Scousers singing Ole's at the wheel, now over the moon, Ole is back. Exactly that. Banter, 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 banter. That's all it is, guys. That's all we are. That's all we bloody are, guys. A banter club. Are you watching AFCON? Ahmad is cooking it, but Mbremo isn't. He's played all right, and Mbremo is working hard. He's getting back to form. We have to support him, Sam. He was not good at Leicester, but listen, this is where you get to absolutes, Yale. Leicester's a different animal to Man United. Who's done well at Leicester? Leicester in the Championship. They still win the Championship, even after Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, after Ruud van Nistelrooy is there. What did he do at PSV? You know, there's no point being smart, Yale, because you end up looking like a prat. Sorry. You know, at the end of the day, managing Man United is different to managing Leicester midway through the season. You know, he's going to be a world class. I just don't see him as out and out forward leading the line. United should go for an elite manager. We don't need another shit manager again. Absolutely. I agree with that one. A trend now is promote under 17 coach to the first team, i.e. Chelsea. Man, we're copying Chelsea, guys. That's what we're doing. Dave, what a top manager would want to work under the ownership. Sacked Ruben for telling the truth. Ruben had one transfer window and looks like they were bringing in a Glazer yes man. Exactly that. He is a Glazer yes man. That's one thing. A good ownership would already have started the groundwork. Exactly that, Bernard. The next manager by signing players, because considering that where they were taking care of transfers, I don't know why they are not signing anyone in January. This is why they sacked him, Bernard, because it covers up that, doesn't it, for a lot of people. Not me. Do you think Ineos put both, big up Neil, do you think Ineos put both names out there to Fletcher and Ollie to see who fans? Yeah, Neil, yeah, probably, yeah. So basically, this is one common demeanor that Ineos do. They actually look at social media. So in regards to, for example, players and things like that, they look at social media. This is why they're not football people. They don't have their own brain. They're cyclist people. That's what it is. So they'll look on Twitter and they'll say, "Oh, that's quite popular. Oh, should we do that one? Oh, we should do that one. Ole or Fletcher? Oh, you know, it's like kicking a ball down the road. This is what they do." They know that happened under his ownership. Albie, big up Albie. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. I can't see us being a powerhouse again. Not like this. We are never getting rid of the owners, and nothing is going to change. Hope your day is going well, mate. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Absolutely. Mount Mainu and Bruno back tonight. Well, hey, what a coincidence. Kenny, Faxal, we are real embarrassed. We're embarrassment, guys. We can't talk about any team out there. I don't want to hear anything about Arsenal. I don't want to talk about Arsenal. I don't want to hear any banter about Arsenal, Liverpool, anybody now, because we are 2018 FC. We are nostalgic FC, Jaffa Cake FC. We are rent-a-car FC, Ollie's at the wheel. That's what we are, guys. Everything and everything in between. Thank you, man, them millions. Thank you, man, them minions. The man, them millions have got their wish. You're going to get OLE'S at the wheel. Tell me how good does it feel? Goodness me. I hate Arsenal and I mean hate them. Me too, Benny. But look at the way they run their club. Exactly. Set up to succeed. Arsenal players that aren't good enough, out the door. No fucking around. Exactly that, Benny. Exactly that. And that's Arsenal, where we should be ahead of Arsenal. You know, and look at them, you know, and they've given a demonstration how to build your club. Perfect demonstration. You know, I don't like praising Arsenal. I don't like saying that any team who plays Arsenal in the Champions League are going to worry, because it's a fact. The one thing I do with Stretford Post, guys, is I call facts, right? I don't call sensationalism. I don't get to hypotheticals. I call facts. Right, at the end of the day. And Arsenal are light years ahead of us now. We could have closed that gap if we were patient and people had a little bit of patience about them and understood football and understood patience and understood, you know what? You don't just go out there and become an Olympic athlete overnight. You know what I mean? And this is the thing. Absolutely. Ineos and the Glazers should be working in a nursery in the USA, not a football club. Even that is too difficult for them. This football club tried to build a possession-based team, but they'll prevent back to survival football. And you know what, Kenny? We were winning with that, you know. We were starting, I don't know what people see, but we were starting to dominate games. Oh, but we played 5 at the back. We're the second, third highest scorers in the league. All right? Our XG's up there, the second highest. What are we talking about here? Come on, please tell me what are we talking about here? What do we want? You know, because at the end of the day, everything was high and improving. Some things take time. Don't paint everything with the same brush. We're not Man City. We're not Chelsea. We don't throw money at things and hope it succeeds. Some things take time. Ruben was on his way. But you guys, you wanted to sack him. And guys, do not come running back to me. Don't come running back when we go flat on our face again. When Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is sitting in that press conference in tears. You know, I hope he succeeds. I really do. I really do. I really hope he succeeds. Honest to God, I do. I hope he does the business. They want top managers, but at the end of the day, that doesn't mean we accept it, mate. You know, at the end of the day, doesn't mean that we set what they're doing. We have to call them out because we're not going to be successful with OLE'S and things like that, mate. Let me tell you that right now. You are not going to witness a league title, right, as it stands. Same, but saying I can't even banter. We can't banter anyone. We got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer back, probably, Kenny. You know, we got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer back. We got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer back. Oh my God. Manchester United should sell Marcus Rashford, Tottenham Hotspur. Herrera, Matic, Lingard, and Pogba. Maybe Lingard and Pereira, but Herrera, Matic, and Pogba are far better than what we have. McTominay and Fred are far better than what we have. Can you believe I'm saying that? Kenny, we had insane depth years ago under Ole, but apparently Ole has the worst inherited squad, and he spent 400 million. Morning, Jamie. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Sorry, let me get that up. Sorry. Morning, Jamie. Hope you're doing. Morning, Sal. I remember how viral it was when the fan base wanted Ole out. The PE teacher, they called him. The revisionism, and not only the fans called him PE teacher. Some of the players called him PE teacher as well. You know. Ryan. It'd be quite interesting to see how Ole is willing to take the role as caretaker manager for the free. But as much, I don't think he's going to be for free, mate. There's rules in England. It's called the minimum wage. You can't work for free. But as much as we wouldn't get back to where we are from, we are still going to be excited if he wins the next 5. Yeah, because we're Jaffa Cake FC. Soft little munchy, little Barney the dinosaur, loving little pillows. Benny. Was it Ole who signed Jadon Sancho? Indeed, my guy, I think. Thank you so much, Albie. Really appreciate you. Thank you for your gifted membership. You absolute legend. Really appreciate you. Sal, props to you. Props to you big time. Thank you, Jamie. And you. You called out months ago that Kobe told him to fuck off. There you go, mate. And people are telling me, right, stop speculating. He didn't stop speculating. You think I want to say these things? People think I'm a Man United fan. I like Kobe Mainu. People think I want to say these things about a player that come from my youth academy. Proven now, isn't it? When he hit the like on a video on Instagram, bantering Ruben Amram being sacked. Stay classy, guys. You know what I mean? Ron Burgundy FC. Stay classy. Stay classy, Manchester. Kobe. And that's what it is. Mad, isn't it? But big up, Albie. Thank you so much for your support, as usual, Albie. I really appreciate you. Jamie, Coco. Both Ahmad and Mbeumo are cooking in the AFCON, but true, Ahmad is doing a bit better. Gonna be interesting how we know going to fit them in the 4-2-3-1. Very interesting. We got Cunha, we got Mbeumo, we got Bruno. It's going to be difficult. You know, it's going to be difficult. I would say that it's going to be difficult to incorporate them into the system. I have to say that, Coco, very difficult. Thank you, Albie, and enjoy it, Kenny. Hope you're well, bruv. Really appreciate you both. I really appreciate you all, of course. Ole was good at Molde. I won't use that to defend. We should get. I don't want him back myself. He was not fantastic at Besiktas. He wasn't fantastic at Cardiff either. But they are terrible at club to manage. 13 coaches in 5 years. Yeah, but he wasn't good at Cardiff either. Remember that. And he lost 4-1 to Watford, and he lost 4-0 to Cardiff, and he lost 5-0 to Liverpool. What was the score when Ruben Amram played Liverpool at Anfield? Tactics, intelligence, arrestasy. And to be honest with you, Ruben Nistelrooy is a little bit more tactically aware than Ole. He can play different styles. Ole can't. Ole's counter-attack. That's it. And he's flopped at various places. If Fletcher loses the next match, Ole is definitely coming. Yeah. For vibes, Ole 2.0 incoming, back 4 and top 4, here we come. Goodness me. You're the problem, Kaylee. People like you, honest to God, you have no idea about Man United, honestly. We will get a match with, and guess who's got Man United close to top 4? Oh, wonder who that was. United getting above 40% possession under Ole? No. Who cares about possession? Man United never had possession. You know. Late question, Sal. Mainu suspiciously fit for the first time. Exactly that. I said that yesterday after Amram sacking. To me, it's time to sell him. He let the fans down by. He went missing, didn't he? There you go, guys. Absolutely. LT. Big up, Sal. At least the Glazers didn't pretend to know what they were doing on the pitch. But with Ineos, we are a laughing stock with the pretenders in charge of football decisions. Absolutely. Sacking Amram was the cheapest option. Exactly. It was the cheapest option. And that is the wrong thing, isn't it, Sprints? Nix, if this is what Sir Jan meant by what he said is going to put Manchester back in the Manchester United, then we are doomed as a club. We already, mate. As soon as they took charge of the club, we were doomed. Helge, Samuel. Hey, Sal, I've got bad vibes for today's match. Like, how are these players going to play in a serious manner after just experiencing the betrayal Amram faced just a couple of weeks ago? It can work both ways, Samuel. Look, I'm always going to support Man United. I'm always going to want us to do well. And I hope that we defeat Burnley today. I really do. I hope we beat Burnley. We deserve it as a fan base. We deserve to beat Burnley. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to say... I say that I wouldn't be surprised if that happened, but I wouldn't be surprised if they win because Burnley are shit. And that's it. And Ruben Amram beat Burnley, you know, and that's what it is. Marcus, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I'm numb to our team. The only thing that will get me excited again is the Sal of this team. Yeah, it will never happen. Simon, a serious owner would sack Barada and Wilcox after Amram. We will go through the same cycle till the ownership sorted. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. They might still get sacked. Arastasi. The wages for the players and the sacking fee for the managers are way too high, even for the ones sitting on the bench. Exactly that. We could have bought a midfielder for the price. You know what I mean? You know? So, off topic, who do you think will win the AFCON? Between Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Algeria, or how would I say it? Senegal. Yeah. Kobe needs to put in the work. Kobe needs to shut his mouth. Right? That's it. Kobe needs to come out and apologize to the fans that, you know what, he didn't even condemn his brother for that new useless. Alex Ferguson would have shipped him out one time. Overrated. Fans, Kaylee, come on, man. This is what I'm talking about. You guys are against Ruben Amram. My God. Fans can get their hopes up all they want as long as the Glazers in here. People will support Fletcher and Ole over Amram. It's like, you guys. I'd love to see them get Sporting Lisbon. 20 years without a title, bring them to the Champions League and become undefeated, beating Man City 4-1, winning away at Anfield 2-1, winning against Newcastle, winning against Chelsea, winning against Newcastle. I love to see that. I'm just pissed off, man. Fans can get their hopes up all they want. As long as the Glazers in us are in charge, we are doomed. I'm just pissed off, man. Me too, Marcus. Me too. Join the club. Why should a professional footballer take Manchester United seriously? They shouldn't. We let people like Kobe Mainoo off. The owner sacked Mourinho, even though he was almost got us to the Premier League win, because he talked about something. Talked about the owners, mate. He came second, right? We won the Europa League and we won the League Cup under Jose Mourinho, and we came second, legitimately, without COVID season, right? And that was the time to back Jose Mourinho. That was the time to say, right, we are going to back you. This is what we're going to do. We are going to back you. That was the time to say we are going to back you. And they didn't back him. And that's why he was upset. Because that's the time you say, okay, what's it going to take for us to get to that next level? What's going to take for us to get to the first place? And I said it then. And people are saying it now. It's almost like I've been telling the truth for the last few years. Maybe people should listen. There's some people just don't want to listen to me. You know? I said, changing Eric Ten Hag won't change a thing. In fact, it might get even worse because the culture at this football club is down in the dumps. You know what I mean? It's down in the dumps. You know? Kaylee beating Liverpool, beating Newcastle, beating all these things. Grimsby, you don't need a manager, you pillock. You don't need a manager. You're supporting Fletcher. You're supporting Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who lost 4-0 to Watford. Right? That's what you're doing. Losing to Grimsby. Listen, Kaylee, shut up, man. I'll be honest with you. Shut up. Next time you do that and you mention Grimsby, you are getting blocked, Kaylee, forever. And you're not coming on my channel again. Because even people, you saw me on Judge Mo's channel the other day, they know more about Man United than you. They're schooling us than you. Everyone. Alex Ferguson lost 3-0 to York City at Old Trafford. It's the bloody League Cup. Who played in that game? Your boy, Kobe Mainoo. Your boy. Absolutely. Hey, Sal, how are you doing today? Very well, Toxie. Apart from the prats in the chat, I'm very well. Thank you. The realness on this channel is great. Thank you so much, Albie. Knowledge, not pretend. Proper knowledge, not pretend. Not pretend I was there, not pretend. You know what I mean? She's Jason Wilcox in disguise. She wishes, or he wishes, or non-binary wishes. I don't know. Not going to discriminate. You know what I mean? But I'm tired of hearing that bullshit about, oh, but we lost to Grimsby. Oh, but we lost to Grimsby. Oh, but we lost to Everton. Oh, but maybe, just maybe, with some fragment of an imagination, you might understand how football works. League One is not a weak league. I worked in League One with Leyton Orient, right? I worked in League One. You don't have a team that are ready for the fight. You are going to lose, no matter if it's Arsenal, Man United, Man City. You are going to lose, right? Remind me the team. You do not need a manager. I can manage Man United against Grimsby. It's down to those players to beat Grimsby. It's down to those players to beat 10 men Everton. Now, let me just scroll back, all right, a few pages. Let's talk about 10 men. So, Amram's a shit manager. Let's go by your stupid logic. Amram's a shit manager. He beat Arsenal at the Emirates with 10 men. How about that? How about that old chestnut? Does not show ability? Does that not show ability? Does it show ability or doesn't it show ability? Huh? No. Beat Crystal Palace away. Beat Liverpool away. Beat Newcastle. Right? You're talking about these. You know? And then you're bigging up Fletcher and you're bigging up Ole when you're about 15 years old. You ain't even seen nothing at Man United. I already feel sorry for the next manager because just as a circus with the cycle, the only difference is that the sacking of the manager is getting quicker than before and we expect Fergie days. Exactly that. Exactly that. We've got people. Yeah, she needs to, yeah, that's it. Milk cows. Clean elephants. I'm telling you, stupid. I have to educate these people about the birds and the bees, guys. There's a reason, right? I know people at Old Trafford. I know footballers. Ex-footballers have been on this channel. I could speak about ex-footballers or two ex-footballers all day long about football. You know, I have a balanced opinion. He wasn't good enough. Why? Because he's better looking than you. Is that what it is? Because that's what I think it is. You know? That's what at the end of the day, just jealous. That's what it is. And yeah, save that for Oprah, man. Honest to God. It's ridiculous. Honestly, some people will come on here and say that nonsense. The guy called out Ineos and the Glazers, man. You know, our nemesis, our enemy. And these people were like, I can't wait to see Mainu in the team. What, the Mainu who played against Grimsby and got schooled against Grimsby? Humphrey. Manchester United should get Pep or PSG manager if available. I would get Luis Enrique absolutely all day long. Luis Enrique would be the guy for me. You know what I mean? Luis Enrique would be the guy for me. I would get Luis Enrique all day long. All day long. I would get Luis Enrique. At least Ruben was trying to clean up the madness. Exactly that. And that was his responsibility for the first 6 months. People forget when he came into Man United, what happened at Man United when he came in. People don't understand what goes on behind the scenes at the football club. You got people trying to undermine you at the football club. You got players messing around, doing tweets at the football club. And people forget this old narrative. Do you know what I mean? You know? House in the madness has to end. The problem is I don't want to see any light at the end of the tunnel. I don't care about what Mainu did tapping against Man City. I don't care what happened against Man City, Kaylee. I don't give a damn what happened against Man City. We're talking about now. We're talking about the future of Man United. And again, every single person wanted Eric Ten Hag out too. That worked out well. Anyone see Melissa Reddy's post yesterday? Brilliant post about giving 200 million scouting manager. Exactly that. Yeah, I saw it. Benny. It was a good post. Fair play to her. Roy, Ransom Bants, for some reason, thinks that Xavi is going to United. And also, I think he's celebrating the sack. Yeah, he's celebrating the sack because they haven't celebrated anything in their whole life. You know what I mean? You know, the only thing that, you know, I mean, loyalty doesn't come into their question with them. You know what I mean? That's what I would say. And fair play to them. They're happy about them if it tickles their fancy. If it makes them smile because their wife's not getting in them or man, whatever they are. No discrimination. If they're not giving them anything, you know, I mean, that's fine. But, you know, let them be happy. Let them. Xavi lost to Eric Ten Hag and got schooled by Eric Ten Hag in the Europa League. Let's go for that. You know what I mean? Let's go for that old chestnut, shall we? You know what I mean? At the end of the day. You know, yeah. But you know what? If, you know, at the end of the day, all I've heard about is Grimsby and Everton. That is the only counter argument to the Ruben Amram outers, you know. And to be honest with you, they don't understand football, and I have little to no respect. I've had people who don't support Man United. In fact, they hate Man United, right? Speaking more sense than some of these Man United fans. You know? It's ridiculous. You know, and Arsenal fans, you know. Benny, Alonso will end up at Liverpool. No chance. I don't want him, mate. I don't want him, Benny. He's an ex-Liverpool player. I don't want him. Big up, Darren. Ransom bands are most disgusting I've ever seen. I'm going to despise creators like this. Block all their channels, but still see his face and venom all over it. What you have to understand this, Coco. These people are unhappy. These people are not happy no matter what Man United do. Man United can win the treble. They'll be unhappy, mate. You know? They're the sort of people. I was raised in London, right? I was born in London. I was raised in London, right? And these kind of people didn't know nothing about football. Right? At his age, you know, during the 90s, I was going to Man United games. These people didn't. They were Tottenham fans and things like that. They weren't interested in football. They're only interested in football because it gives them money. They wouldn't have a platform if it weren't for Mark Goldbridge. Oh, I did that before. You didn't do nothing, mate. You got schooled by KG about your historical value and what you've done before that. And you know what I mean? Good luck to them. Let them wear their kids' sunglasses all they want. I don't care. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. You know, we're going to be here again. Ahmad, the reason the Grimsby argument exists, Onana through the game. Exactly, Roy. You know more than that, K-bum. Benny, have a great day, everyone. Nearly time for school. Big up, Benny. Have a good one, my friend. Have a good one. Of course, guys. We lost one person who was starting to remove the rot, reset the culture, and improve the team. Yet people are fixated last season and not like we're like in a back three. Let's talk about this season. 3 points from fourth. Ultimately, you lose games, you win games, right? Even with 10 men. Man United did it under Alex Ferguson. You lose games, you win games, right? But let me tell you something like this, guys. We are 3 points from fourth. And why does Fletcher and why does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer have a chance to finish fourth. You understand it. Ruben Amram. Now, I'm not singing the praise of Ruben Amram. I'm not Ruben Amram FC. I'm Man United FC. But I'm certainly not going to be throwing, changing the course of history and talking about where we are in the league with like it's shit, right? At the end of the day, I'm certainly not going to forget about how we beat, Liverpool at Anfield the first time since 2016. We beat Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park for the first time since 2017. We beat Chelsea at Old Trafford. We beat Newcastle at Old Trafford. I'm certainly not going to fit. We outplayed Arsenal in the opening game of the season, and the only reason we lost that game is because we didn't get the goalkeeper in earlier. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm talking about. These old narratives, guys, that people ignore, it just shows a lack of intelligence. And if you come at me with an intelligent argument, I would understand, and I'll pick the bones on it. Of course I will. But I would understand. But these people, it's just not good enough. They're dumb. Simple. Dumb. Dumb. That's it. Dumb. And they'll be proven dumb again. I said this when Erik ten Hag was going to be sacked. Guys, nothing is going to be fixed. You know? I hope that Ruben Amram takes charge of Man City and wins the league. Because he will. You know what I mean? I don't want Man City to win the league, but he will win the league. You know? Because that's what's going to happen. And let me tell you that right now. If he took charge of Man City, they win the league. If he took charge of Liverpool last season, they win the league. You know? It's facts. Guys, absolutely. But here we are, guys, arguing with people that don't know nothing about football, who only started supporting Man United a few years ago because they were successful and they don't understand the heritage, how we became successful, how we got to where we are. They don't understand how we got to standards. They don't have no idea how we got to that level. Nothing. They have no idea how we got to that level. Sal, I found you on TikTok, and any of my Man United brethren, I direct them to your page. Thank you, brother. I hope more folks find your channel because you keep it real, my guy. Big up, Marcus. All day long, mate. I don't care anything. I lose subscribers, I lose likes, anything. I care about the club, and I will call out idiots. You know what I mean? Burnham, there you go, mate. In his own words, I interfere. He said that's his problem. He interferes. He admitted it. Thank you very much. And the truth shall set you free. Again, the truth shall set you free. There we go, guys. They're in a bundle. They're live and living color. Know what I mean? Absolutely. Legends, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it, guys. It's set for the idiots, but I appreciate it. And guys, and thank you so much for joining. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to smash a like and all that business. You know, guys, and nobody cares, Kaylee. Guys, if you're going to be like anyone, don't be like Kaylee. Kaylee's a loser. Take it easy, guys. Enjoy it. Cheers, Dan. Darren, take it easy. And guys, have a good one. Good. Big up Simon, by the way. To me, supporting a club means supporting through thick and thin. Criticize mistakes, but wishing defeats to prove a point. Exactly that. Isn't support. That's being a plastic fan. Yeah. Kaylee's a plastic fan. Watch along later? Absolutely, Marcus, of course. Man United all day long, every game. Unless I'm, you know what I mean, God forbid. But anyway, take it easy, guys. Have a great day, great evening, great night. All banter, all good in the hood. Take it easy. I'll see you soon.